You love your dog. That part is not in question. But love and understanding are two completely different things. And the gap between them, that invisible space where good intentions meet a dog who does not speak your language, is exactly where most of the damage happens. Not dramatic damage, not the kind you would notice right away. The quiet kind. The kind that builds up in small moments repeated every single day. You hug your dog because you love them. You raise your voice because you were frustrated. You turn the reunion into a celebration because you miss them. Every single one of those moments feels right from where you're standing. Your dog experiences something else entirely. Here are 6 things most owners do every day out of love, out of habit, out of simply not knowing, that hurt their dog more than they realize. 1. Hugging them. This one is going to be uncomfortable because hugging feels like the most natural expression of love there is. For your dog, being hugged is one of the most stressful physical experiences they can have. Specialists in animal behavior have studied this closely. The findings are consistent. The vast majority of dogs show clear stress signals during hugs, the body going rigid, the weight shifting forward, the jaw tightening just enough to notice. Dogs do not have arms. They do not hug each other. Physical restraint in their world means loss of control. A hug that lasts 3 seconds too long is not warmth to your dog. It is a situation they cannot exit. Your dog tolerates it because they trust you, but that trust is being spent every single time. And the signals they send during every hug, you have already seen them. You just did not know what you were looking at. 2. Raising your voice. Not screaming, not losing control, just sharpening. The edge that comes into your voice when they pull the leash again, when they destroy something for the 3rd time this week, when patience runs out before the situation does. Research on dog behavior shows consistent exposure to tense voices elevates cortisol in dogs, the stress hormone. Your dog stops learning what you want them to stop doing. They start learning that you are unpredictable, that certain shifts in your tone means something uncomfortable is coming, even when they do not know what they did to cause it. A dog living with a voice that sharpens often spends significant energy monitoring your mood instead of simply existing in your home. That monitoring is exhausting, and it changes the way your dog moves through every room you are both in. And if that one was hard to hear, number 3 is going to hit even closer to home. Making your arrival home a big production. Door opens. Your voice goes up 3 octaves. You drop everything, crouch down, and greet your dog like they survived something extraordinary while you were gone. It feels like love. It looks like love. It is quietly building anxiety inside your dog every single day. Specialists in animal behavior point to dramatic arrivals and departures as one of the primary drivers of separation anxiety in dogs. When coming home becomes an event, loud, emotional, overwhelming, your dog learns that your absence is a significant thing, something worth that level of reaction. So the waiting begins earlier. The pacing starts before you even reach the door. The scratching, the whining, the destruction, all of it traces back, in part, to a greeting that was always just a little too big. A calm return doesn't mean a cold one. It means giving your dog 30 seconds to settle before the affection begins. That short pause tells them your leaving and coming back is normal, safe, not something to brace for. But the greeting is only part of it. What happens inside your home every single day, in the rules, in the patterns, in the logic your dog is desperately trying to find, is doing something quieter and harder to see. Inconsistent rules. On Monday, the couch is fine. On Tuesday, you were frustrated that they jumped up. On Wednesday, you invite them up again because you feel bad. Your dog is not confused because they are stubborn. They are confused because the rules keep changing and there is no pattern to follow. Dogs build their sense of safety around consistency. They're always looking for the logic, a reliable sequence of cause and effect that tells them what the world expects of them. When that logic shifts without warning, the anxiety is not dramatic. It is low, constant, and cumulative. Your dog is not asking for perfection. They're asking for predictability. And the damage inconsistency causes is not in the moments the rule breaks. It is in everything your dog does in between. 5. Exposing them to strong scents. The candle you lit to make the house feel cozy. The cleaning product that leaves the floor spotless. The perfume you have worn for years. To you, background, barely noticeable. To your dog, overwhelming. A dog's nose is up to 10,000 times more sensitive than a human's. What registers as background scent for you fills your dog's entire sensory field, wall to wall, no way to turn it down. The candle that makes your living room feel warm fills every corner of that room with a signal your dog cannot escape and cannot ask you to stop. Chronic exposure to strong artificial scents, air fresheners, scented candles, chemical cleaners, has been linked to respiratory irritation and stress in dogs. Your dog cannot open a window, cannot leave the room if the smell is everywhere, cannot tell you that the thing making your home feel warm is making them uncomfortable. Watch your dog the next time you light a candle or use a strong cleaner. Do they leave the room? Do they seem restless in a space they normally love? That movement is information, and it has been happening every single time. You just never connected it to what was in the air. 6. Rushing them through the walk. You show up every single day, leash in hand, rain or shine. That part is real love. What happens during the walk is where most owners get it wrong. The walk became yours without you realizing it. Your pace, your route, your timeline. You decide when to stop, when to move, when the walk is over. And your dog, who has no say in any of it, moves through the one part of their day that was supposed to be theirs on someone else's terms entirely. A dog that never controls the walk never fully recovers from it. They come home having covered the distance, but missed everything that made the distance worth covering. The restlessness that follows, the inability to settle, the continued searching for stimulation indoors is not excess energy. It is unfinished business. The walk was never just about movement. It was about your dog getting to be a dog for 20 minutes, and most of them never get that. If any of these 6 have shown up in your home, tell me in the comments which one landed hardest. Be specific, I want to know, because what comes next is the part most owners never reach, a shift that costs nothing but changes everything about how your dog feels inside the home you share. None of this means you have been a bad owner. It means you have been a human owner, doing what felt natural, what felt loving, what nobody ever told you to question. But your dog was experiencing something different in every one of those moments, quietly, without complaint, without any way to tell you that the thing you were doing out of love was landing somewhere you never intended. The shift starts with awareness, and awareness starts with small, specific changes that cost nothing but attention. When you feel the urge to hug your dog, sit close instead. Let them choose to lean into you. That voluntary contact means more to your dog than any hug ever could. When your voice sharpens, pause before it lands. Take one breath, lower the register. Your dog responds to what your body communicates before a single word reaches them. When you get home, walk in calmly. Let the energy settle. Then greet your dog fully, warmly, completely. That 30-second pause changes what the love means to them. Pick one rule that has been inconsistent. Hold it for 2 weeks. The tension your dog has been carrying will start to release. Not because anything dramatic changed, but because the question they kept asking finally got a consistent answer. Swap one scented product for an unscented version, and on the next walk, give them the lead. The walk that belongs to your dog is the one they actually come home from. Every small change you make is your dog feeling, maybe for the first time, that the person they love most is actually paying attention, not just to what they need, but to who they are. Tell me in the comments, which of these 6 you're changing first. I want to read it. Subscribe. That's what this channel is here for.